Before diving into this incredible story, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, every story has something to say, and you won't want to miss a single one. It was a clear morning in Manhattan, the sun's rays reflecting off the windows of luxury boutiques. Emily Johnson, a 17-year-old black girl, walked calmly toward her high school, her backpack slung slightly over one shoulder. She had grown up in this neighborhood, but despite her gentle appearance and bright smile, she had often felt the envious stares and racist whispers of some people around her. That day, Emily wore her favorite dress, simple yet elegant, and her brown curls shimmered in the sunlight. Little did she know that the morning was about to turn into a nightmare. In the same neighborhood, Cassandra White, a woman in her 40s known for her arrogance and jealousy of those who were successful or attracted attention, was watching her. Cassandra felt a simmering anger every time she saw Emily smile or receive innocent compliments. As Emily crossed the street to reach the sidewalk in front of her high school, Cassandra called out to her in a cold, accusatory voice. "Do you really think you have the right to walk here? As if you were someone important?" Emily, startled and frightened, stopped, her eyes wide. She tried to answer calmly, but Cassandra, blinded by jealousy, wouldn't listen. Before anyone could intervene, Cassandra shoved her violently against a shop wall, making a sharp noise that turned several heads. Shocked passers-by began filming the scene with their phones. Emily, injured and trembling, remained standing, trying to protect her dignity. Fear shone in her eyes, but also a silent determination. She would not let this attack destroy her. Meanwhile, a few streets away, Marcus Johnson, her father, received a frantic call from a neighbor. Without wasting a second, he grabbed his jacket and ran to his daughter. As a respected lawyer and protective father, he knew this situation demanded more than anger, it required justice and firmness. Emily had barely caught her breath after the shock of the push when she felt Cassandra's rage rise a notch. "You dare look at me like that?" screamed Cassandra, her hands clenched. Emily instinctively recoiled, her heart pounding in her chest. Passers-by began to crowd around them, some filming the scene, others timidly calling the police. But Cassandra seemed oblivious to everything around her, her sole objective being to humiliate Emily. "You think you're entitled to everything just because you smile and have people love you?" she continued, her voice full of hatred. Emily tried to answer, her voice trembling but clear. "I did nothing to provoke you. Leave me alone, calm." Cassandra, far from stopping, punched the bench next to Emily, narrowly missing her. Emily felt her chest tighten with a mixture of fear and anger. The young girl knew she had to remain calm to avoid making the situation worse. That's when Marcus Johnson came running, alerted by a neighbor. As soon as he saw Cassandra, his expression shifted from surprise to determination. He quickly approached, placing his hand on his daughter's shoulder to protect her. "That's enough. Leave my daughter alone immediately," he said in a firm but controlled voice. Cassandra froze for a moment, surprised by the father's sudden appearance. The witnesses immediately sensed the change in atmosphere. Marcus was not simply an angry spectator, he was a respected lawyer and a protective father, and his presence commanded respect. Marcus turned to Emily, smiling at her to reassure her. "Don't worry, I'm here. No one will make you of bad." Emily felt a wave of relief wash over her. The tension had been palpable, but her father's arrival had reversed the dynamic. Cassandra, seeing that her victim was no longer alone, stepped back slightly, furious but aware that she couldn't act with impunity in front of so many witnesses. Passers-by continued filming, and the store's security cameras had captured the entire scene. Marcus knew this evidence would be crucial. But first and foremost, he had to calm his daughter and restrain Cassandra. "You will answer for your actions before the law, Mrs. White. That's all I have to say to you." "The moment," concluded Marcus, his voice icy but controlled. Emily, still trembling, looked at him and whispered, "Thank you, Dad. I wasn't scared anymore, thanks to you." Marcus hugged her. In that moment of chaos, he knew the real fight had just begun. He had to make sure Cassandra paid for her racist and violent act. After calming his daughter, Marcus Johnson knew that a simple confrontation on the sidewalk wouldn't be enough. Cassandra White had shown her true colors: jealousy, racial hatred, and gratuitous violence. Marcus picked up his phone and immediately contacted the police to report the assault, attaching videos from bystanders and surveillance cameras. A few hours later, the scene had gone viral. On social media, videos showed Emily, dignified despite her fear, and Cassandra, screaming and aggressive, unable to justify her behavior. Internet users were shocked by the brutality and racism of the attack. Hashtags began circulating, denouncing the injustice and racist harassment. Marcus, as an experienced lawyer, decided not to simply wait for the traditional legal process. He contacted several local and national journalists, providing all the evidence: videos, witness statements, and written statements from passers-by. In an exclusive interview with a local news channel, Marcus stated, "My daughter was attacked simply because of her skin color and her smile. It's not just an attack against her, it's an attack against our entire nation. Community. Justice must be swift and firm." This statement immediately spread across the United States. National media picked up the story, and citizens were shocked. How could someone still act with such hatred in the heart of New York? Cassandra, aware that her action was now public and documented, attempted to minimize her responsibility, stating, "I was only reacting to provocations." But the videos and testimonies contradicted her claims. Marcus, relentless, prepared a comprehensive legal case so that Cassandra would be held accountable for her actions in court. Meanwhile, Emily began receiving messages of support from all over the United States. Her courage and dignity in the face of the attack inspired other young people to denounce racism and defend their rights. That day, Marcus demonstrated not only the power of a protective father, but also how the law and the media could be used to uphold justice and denounce hate. Cassandra had thought she could humiliate a young black girl with impunity. She would soon discover that the consequences would be far more serious than she had imagined. In the days that followed, the Emily Johnson vs. Cassandra White case became a hot topic across the country. Videos of the attack were shared on every platform, racking up millions of views. Commentators, journalists, and influencers condemned the racist attack, and many praised Emily's courage and her father's measured but firm response. Cassandra White, who thought the incident would remain local, suddenly found herself in the national spotlight. Insulting phone calls and emails poured in. Her name appeared in newspapers and on television as a symbol of hatred and blind jealousy. Social media users denounced her, and many called for severe punishment. Marcus Johnson, ever calm but determined, meticulously prepared the legal case. He had the video evidence, witness statements, and the initial police report. He ensured the case wouldn't be downplayed by public apologies or behind closed-doors negotiations. The Manhattan District Attorney took the matter very seriously and summoned Cassandra for questioning. Faced with the gravity of the accusation, Cassandra attempted a clumsy defense. "It was just an altercation, I didn't want it to hurt him." But the evidence was overwhelming. Every video, every testimony confirmed the version d'Emily. Meanwhile, Emily, supported by her friends and family, began appearing in the media to talk about her experience. She spoke with dignity about what she had felt and how Cassandra's hatred could have broken her, but that she refused to let the attack define her life. Her voice inspired other young people facing racism to speak out. Tensions escalated when newspapers revealed that Cassandra had a history of discriminatory behavior in her neighborhood. This fueled public outrage and made it clear to everyone that this incident was not isolated. The first hearing was scheduled, and Cassandra, for the first time, realized that she would have to answer to a court of law. Marcus, a protective father and experienced lawyer, knew that this trial would be long and difficult, but he was determined to obtain justice for his daughter and send a clear message: racism and violence would have no place in his city. The day of the trial arrived, and the courtroom was filled with journalists, onlookers, and activists who had come to support Emily. Cameras broadcast the event live, making the trial a national media event. Cassandra White entered, dressed in a simple suit, trying to maintain her composure, but her face betrayed her nervousness. Beside her, Marcus Johnson, calm and focused, gazed at his daughter with pride. Emily, despite her anxiety, stood straight and dignified. The prosecutor presented video evidence and witness statements. The footage clearly showed the assault, and legal and behavioral experts described the hateful and racist nature of the attack. Cassandra attempted to downplay her actions, but every argument was refuted by overwhelming evidence. Emily spoke. "I did nothing to provoke this hatred. But I refuse to let fear or anger control my life. I hope my story can inspire other people to denounce racism and to remain strong." Her words resonated throughout the hall and across the national media. The dignity and courage of this young girl impressed the public and journalists alike. The judge, after examining all the evidence, pronounced the verdict. "Cassandra White, you are found guilty of racist aggression and harassment. You are sentenced to 6 months in prison, combined with community service and tolerance awareness programs." A murmur rippled through the room. The media described the verdict as a historic moment, a reminder that justice could prevail over hatred, even when it was directed against a vulnerable young girl. Emily left the courtroom alongside her father, a shy but bright smile on her face. Marcus hugged her. "You were incredibly brave, my daughter. Today, we have shown that hatred never triumphs." The story resonated across the United States and inspired thousands of young people to speak out against racism and believe in justice. Marcus Johnson's swift and measured response, combined with Emily's courage, not only held Cassandra accountable for her actions but also sent a powerful message to the entire nation: hatred and jealousy have no place in society, and courage and dignity can overcome injustice. On that day, Emily and Marcus Johnson did more than just win a lawsuit. They became a symbol of resilience, justice, and hope for all those who still believed in equality.